Update: seeking advice after my wife's infidelity with her medical coworker. First of all, thank you to everyone who has responded and given me advice or recommendations. Everyone's support through replies or DMs has been very helpful. Friday came and went without any conversation. She cried herself to sleep and I somehow managed to get a few hours of sleep in the meantime. Saturday morning was tense. At some point we were in the bedroom together getting ready for the day and out of nowhere she said, "I know we need to talk, I'm just not sure when it's appropriate and how." He went over for a hug, his first in a week. I responded that it was his decision about the conversation and reciprocated the hug. We eventually broke the hug, but there was no more physical contact. We took a few steps apart and she started talking. After a few slurred sentences, I sensed that this was my moment and the best opportunity to provide my evidence about the call to her lover on DD's morning. I demanded to know what the content of the conversation was. I demanded to know the physical level of her emotional deception. When I brought all of this to light, my wife had a mini meltdown. She blurted out what would end up being half-truths about the situation. The relationship had become physical, but they only kissed once. Nothing more. The call was to talk about how they both felt. I was livid. I kept pushing. The one kiss turned into 4 times, then into "I don't know, I don't keep track," finally into multiple times a week. I asked her if I had to have any STI tests, to which she was visibly surprised, and replied that I did not. I'm inclined to believe her on this one. I was finally able to pick up her phone and confirm that everything had been deleted. There were no text messages, this was already expected, and to check other apps like Messenger. That was the new channel to communicate, she admitted. We had more conversation and discussion about these new truths, and it was clear at this point that she had no intention of breaking off the affair and that she was in love/love affair with her lover, whether she could answer that or not when I asked her. During the heat of the moment, I texted her lover's wife and introduced myself, along with providing my phone number. She has not contacted me yet. Again, my wife freaked out, not because I sent the message to a stranger, but because I was also inflating her lover's bubble. I told my wife that she was no longer welcome in our home and that she would have to stay with her father while the children stayed with me. She did not object, but said that I was kicking her out, and I replied that this was what she wanted. This was the beginning of her desired separation, but it was on my terms and my decision. We told the kids the basics of why she was leaving, but no details about the affair. Our son broke down many times throughout the day once we told him. It is very sad. I have called a recommended lawyer, it's the weekend so I don't expect a call until Monday. Set up a consultation and see where we go from here. My wife hasn't gotten any better at hiding anything, she called, instead of FaceTime or Messenger call, so I have additional records that they are in contact with each other. She also started looking at Zillow listings in our area. Anything she favors comes to my inbox as well since we had that exchange set up from our past. LOL. I also spoke to his mistress's wife at length this morning. She was surprised. I provided her with a timeline. It's synced up with the lover's history. I provide the details, which also synced up. Or did they corroborate their stories to hide the sexual theme? I don't know. Her lover was kicked out of her house as well. His children hate him now, they are much younger than mine. The whole thing is a mess. I'm not going to inform HR, I don't want to jeopardize the dissolution process and any favorable outcome for me and the kids by getting her fired. Her mother had a history of deep depression. My wife has also suffered from depression and anxiety over the years. She is not thinking clearly, but I'm afraid it's too late for that now. She will only come crawling back when she realizes her lover is just as bad. I'll be fine, I have a great family and support structure in town. A great job and an amazing boss who is aware of the fundamentals of the issue as I confided in him on Thursday. It's going to hurt and I know there will be much tougher times ahead, but for now, I'm going to stick with my running and exercise. Thanks for reading. Thanks again for any additional thoughts or recommendations. I appreciate it. Comments. 1. Be proud of yourself for not playing this game by its rules and for taking back control of the situation. Most issues implode once they are brought out of the shadows into the light of day, and by informing the wife of her amnesty, you not only gave her the opportunity to make an informed decision, but you also brought the issue out of the shadows a bit. Even if you believe her that you don't need an STD test, get one. Lying to you is already as normal as breathing for her, so get tested. It's better to save than to be sorry. Also inform your friends why you are getting closer to divorce before she tells her version of events where you never supported her in the new job, yelled at her because she was working overtime at her new job, and turned the kids against her. Here, just like before, better safe than sorry. Go on your way, talk to the lawyer on Monday, and get the divorce ball rolling. Up until now, your affair was nothing more than a pleasant experience with no responsibility and no consequences. That needs to change. Think about meeting with his mistress's wife and see if you can work together to keep each other informed about the situation. Nothing will make your wife and her lover more frustrated and nervous than realizing that you are teaming up with her lover's wife and becoming a united force working against them together. Please stay away from alcohol and drugs, they will not help you. Drink plenty of water and eat healthy. And never forget, just because she was no longer able to see how wonderful you are, doesn't make you any less wonderful. We will definitely be in touch via Messenger. I don't think we'll have to see each other. She was blindsided yesterday, but she had thought something was going on for a while. She is working through the phases, where I was 6 weeks ago, just armed with more of the truth than I had at the same time. Thank you. 2. If you are concerned about their reputation, you may want to get an investigator on it. If they are not being discreet, it will come out worse. Embarrass the kids more if it's a small town. Guilt-free status? If not, you'll need more evidence. No fault state. I am concerned about public perception. In a town of about 9,500 people, I am a fairly public figure due to volunteer work on multiple boards, family history, and where I work. I am not the CEO, but I play an integral part in the organization and am in the public a lot because of our community involvement. 3. Personal belief: since you live in a small town, where rumors undoubtedly travel fast, don't be afraid to get out in front of the story with the truth. Let people know your side before they can tell theirs. You don't have to give details, just something like she wasn't living up to her marriage vows, so we could no longer continue in a marriage. You don't need to drag her name through the mud, but a statement like that is enough to give people the general idea. If you don't, be prepared for her to tell her side first. Be prepared for her to paint you as abusive. But she would never say that about me, is what you're thinking. But you also thought that she would never cheat on you. That she would never blatantly lie to your face over and over again. That she would never choose another man over you and leave your marital home for him. You are quickly realizing that she is fully capable of, and has done, many things that you could never even imagine her doing, so don't make light of her passing you off as an abuser. Many other men here can attest to facing the same accusations from the mouth of a woman they swore they would never say such a thing. 4. If they have encounters in public, parked cars or in motels, then it will come out. If you have proof, maybe you can shame them into stopping or at least being more discreet for the sake of the children. Do you have location activated? 5. Then, in your own interest, talk to the board of your organization and let them know what's going on. It's better for them to hear what's going on from you than from anywhere else. Also, ask them to keep it to themselves and make it clear that you only informed them because you wanted them to hear it from you and not from some gossip that started spreading by people who found out that your wife no longer lives with you and was seen with another guy. It would be foolhardy to expect anyone in this small town, especially the neighbors, not to recognize what is going on and can add 1, her moving out, and 1, someone saw her with the new guy, together. At some point it will spread around your town what has happened, but right now you can influence what information the people who matter get and from whom. Addressing everything that is going to happen head on and before it can turn against you is a good way to approach things. That's what I'll be doing on Monday with the CEO and chairman of the board at my work. Good advice. 6. Stay strong, buddy, and I know you probably still have feelings for her, but love is not magic. She can't undo what she did and she can't fix what she broke. She probably did more than kiss, because adults don't just kiss. So get tested for STDs, now and in a few months. To move forward faster, you have to distract yourself with positive things: sports, gym, food, friends, family, going out, doing new activities, etc. Stay open to the world even if you have to force yourself a little. Make sure you listen to your lawyer and build the best case possible. Since she is in a fog, you might even get a good divorce. For your kids, it's good that you told them the basics. Now they will know what cheaters do and they will learn from it, and it will help them in their future relationships. Teach them that self-respect, loving yourself, etc. is important. Good luck. 7. I am so sorry you are going through this. I know how hard it can be to see that person you loved for so long turn into someone you don't recognize. My husband of 23 years turned into a lying, cheating, thieving person I never thought he would be, and without any remorse towards what he did. Please protect yourself, as mine took all the money from the joint accounts we had. I had to start over rebuilding my retirement account, while he is with his AP spending the money. Your wife will go into justification mode, which causes her to rationalize what she is owed. Her entire history will be rewritten in her mind, like how terribly you treated her, and therefore she is owed money, happiness, whatever. It will be false, but it is the way she can live with her actions. Please protect yourself and your children from this. Don't underestimate the lengths she will go to.